Hello friends, let's go on a walk together. This is an Art Made For Us video, which means I go to a place, I take some photos and share them with you, and hopefully we get some inspiration flowing to make some art. This time I'm at Anglesey Abbey, which is in Cambridgeshire, England. I went on a day when the sun was shuffling shyly behind clouds and the raindrops were hovering, but the early spring blooms were still putting their best faces forward despite the damp chill. Anglesey Abbey is a house and garden estate with a history stretching back through 9 centuries and is now cared for by the National Trust. Lord Fairhaven, who purchased the Anglesey Abbey estate unseen at auction in the 1920s, was responsible for transforming the gardens, which myself and a friend thoroughly enjoyed wandering through. Straight, tree-lined avenues with a sculpture at the end are intended to draw the eye, although, due to the time of year, a lot of the statues were sadly covered. So many green ghosties. And they kind of gave me the creeps, to be honest.
Ooh, who's under there?
One of my favourite parts of the garden was this silver birch grove on the winter walk. It had a magical feeling somehow. Once we reached the house, my friend and I found a handy bench to sit on and we pulled out the oil pastels. I really enjoy drawing with oil pastels on black paper. And side note, if you think you might like it too, I have a class on Skillshare which teaches the process that I'm using here. I'll leave a link below if you'd like to check it out. Although there were a good handful of people wandering around us, it was a super peaceful sketching time. The birds were chirping above us and the house was a fun subject to draw. I had no aim to make my drawing realistic or accurate. I just wanted to play with the colours, allow my hand to move freely and enjoy letting the time pass. After a little while though, our hands were beginning to freeze up with the cold, so it was time to move again. We popped into the house, which I didn't film as it did feel a bit awkward to do so, and then headed to the cafe for a hot drink to warm up. Thanks for a lovely day, Anglesey Abbey. Let's head back to the shed to make some more art inspired by the photos. Remember, you can join in too if you'd like. These are just a few of the photos I took on my outing, and you're welcome to use them as references for your own art adventures. You can find all of the photos in the gallery on my website, gemmathepen.com. There's a link in the description. Click on the reference gallery button, pop in the password making together and go have a browse. So I'm back in the shed and I'm going to try and make some art from the reference photos that I took as we were going around the Abbey and its grounds. But I just wanted to show you an art supply that I picked up in the gift shop just before I came home. Now, most of the art supplies that were in there, they looked really lovely, but they were a little bit out of my price range. But this one stood out and I don't have one of these, so I had no guilt about buying it. This is a dip pen. As you can see, I get a handle and a nib. And if you ever saw my pyrography video, you'll know how much I love saying nibs. So yeah, this right here is the nib that came with it. Now, I didn't get a choice of nibs, it was just this one. And that's fine because I have no clue how this is going to work or whether I'm going to be able to do anything with it. It's fine. I'm happy with it. And this is the beautiful handle and it's quite plain, but I really liked it and it feels really nice to hold on these flatty bits on the side. So yeah, this kind of pops in to, if you can see at the top there, little grid bit, and we just, I think, pop. Do we do that? I think we just slide it in. How do we slide that in there? Oh no, yeah, no, okay. But it's going in the kind of like the rim part of that. I don't know how far to try and push it. Is it meant to go all the way down to the little ridgy bit? Oh, it is going further. I don't want to bend it. So I've popped it in that far. That's what I'm going to try and use to draw some of the stuff that we saw. And we'll see what happens. A whirl is all we can give it. So let's go. Right, so we have some in this box. I've got some Winsor and Newton inks and I'm hoping that one of these will work. Because I don't really know. I haven't bought any ink specifically for it. I did quickly read on Tinternet that perhaps that Indian ink is the best for it, but
Oh, and I've got some. Oh, look, that's black Indian ink. Hurrah! Well done, Winsor and Newton. Okay, so we're going to try that and see how that works. And try and close this. Close. Close. Woo! That's a lovely big hair there. Get rid of that. So just to say, before I start, I did very quickly look up one brief article about how to use a dip pen in drawing, just in case there was anything major that I needed to think about, because I haven't done this before. And one of the things they said was to wash the nib when you first get it, just in case there's any oils on it from when it was manufactured. So I've no idea if mine did, but I've given it a little wash just in case. Before I even start trying to draw, say, in my sketchbook or anything, I'm just gonna do a few test bits on here because who knows what's gonna happen. Oh, and I also need to go and get some clean water. 1 second. So yeah, this is Winsor and Newton Black Indian ink. Haven't used it in a while. Let's see if I can even open it. Oh, don't you just love ink? Right, let's give this a whirl. I don't know what I'm doing. Dip it into... now. Is this even deep enough to... Oh yeah, I think that's enough, because I think it's meant to just go just over like the hole that's in the nib. Let's take any excess off and then just try and draw something, I guess. Like, okay. Well, that's a pleasant line. Okay, I'm just going to have a quick doodle around with this. Okay, I've got my sketchbook, I've got my peg on my sketchbook, and yeah, I'm going to just find a photo. See, I think the first one I'm going to use is going to be this one, and I mean, that might seem a bit weird, but I like it. I think it's cool, and I think it would work really well with the dip pen to draw all these different utensils. I'm going to give that a go. I don't know whether to do it maybe on this side of the spread. Come in across here, and then I can do something else over there. So yeah, I think that's what we'll try first. I'm not going to do pencil first. I'm just gonna, I'm feeling like I need the terror of going straight in without a pencil to follow, and we'll just deal with what we deal with.
While Shed Gemma is noodling about with that dip pen, let's pull out the art ponder of the day. Are you better today than when you first started? Ooh, it's a good one, isn't it? While it feels like a question that should invoke a straightforward yes or no answer, it's only possible to do that if you know what you're measuring the betterness on. And surely with art there are multiple things to measure progress on, so which do you pick? Are you measuring your improvements by placing your old artwork next to your new artwork and comparing them like for like? What makes one better than the other? Is it the realism achieved, the colours chosen, or maybe the textures created? And why does that qualifier make such a difference? Are you measuring improvement by noting the different materials or methods that you've tried along the way? By the confidence or the courage that you've gained in pushing out of your comfort zone? Are you measuring your improvement in how you communicate through your art? Do you feel better at recognising your own style or enthusiasm? For me, my answer is going to be a jumble, for sure. The overall feeling I have about my art and creativity is, yes, I am better today than when I first started. But that overall feeling is built up from lots of branching directions. I feel I've learned a lot over the years about what type of artist I am by letting myself explore different crafts and processes. The passing of time and simply getting older has changed the way I judge myself too. While there are plenty of ways I can critique my art, I have learned how to do it without quenching my excitement to keep trying. I enjoy making and creating too much to turn it into a trial. In practical terms, I have loads I can work on. in bettering my drawing skills, in improving my colour mixing. The list can be endless. And in looking back, I'm not sure every part of my art technique has moved along that much. But some of it has. More than anything, I think the thing that makes me feel like I've improved in my art is that I am braver in saying what I want to create, and I'm better at letting comparisons with others go. What do you think about this art ponder? I'll leave a comment about it below, hit reply if you'd like to chat about it. By the way, if any part of this video has been enjoyable or helpful so far, please do consider hitting the like button. It's free to do and it helps to expand this cosy creative bubble to other like-minded souls out there. As you can see, this spread turned into quite the hodgepodge of drawings. I did really enjoy using this pen, though I did find it challenging. Mainly because the way that I usually hold a pen is not conducive to this type of pen. I'm usually a bit of a crunched claw grip-wise on pens, which is why I could never write with a fountain pen at school. So in trying to draw with this one, I had to go a lot slower. But anything that slows you down like this can be a good thing, and I did rather zone out as I doodled around the page. I found shading tricky, but by the end I was happily scratching away with less ink to find some different tones, and I managed a little bit of hatching. This very much felt like a journal type of page, which I really don't do very often, and it was fun to try pulling the different drawings in together. In limiting myself to only using the dip pen, I was able to cut myself some slack and simply draw without too many other expectations clamouring for attention. By the way, if this is the first Art Made For Us video you're watching and you'd like to see previous adventures, check out my Art Made For Us playlist after this. Thanks so much for watching this video and for staying to the end. I really hope you enjoyed it. Keep making happy, and I'll see you next time.